Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose bringing you another Spider-Man PS4 video, and today what we're going to be talking about is some brand new free roam gameplay in the game, Jonah Jameson being revealed in the game, and just overall the little touches in Spider-Man PS4 that are going to make this game great. Now before we jump into this, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it, so if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, let's just jump right into this. So today, the Game Informer coverage continues, and in this video, they broke down and talked a little bit about the little touches in Spider-Man PS4 that make this game so great. And through that, we actually got a nice look at some new free roam gameplay, a little look at a cutscene in the game, and the reveal of Jonah Jameson. So to break it down, the little things in this game that make it great. One thing that they mentioned was that the civilians will react to Spider-Man as he is swinging by. This is definitely not something new that we've seen in Spider-Man games before. You know, the civilians will say something, or you'll hear a little line of dialogue from the civilians as you're swinging low to the city or running around the city near civilians. So that's definitely nothing new, but what would surprise me is how different the dialogue will be every single time. So that's what I'm more interested in, but hey, it is good to hear that as I'm swinging low to the city, I'm going to hear some of those civilian reactions. They then go on to talk about the quips that Spider-Man has. He always has something to say, something funny to say in any scenario he's in, and that's Spider-Man's personality. It's in his DNA, so it would be a huge missed opportunity for Insomniac to not be doing something like that in this game. And they showed us a nice little couple of clips of Spidey saying some funny stuff or having those quips that he normally would.
And that, my friends, is what karmic justice looks like.
Yuri, I'm at a Fisk construction site, and there's a lot of guys here who aren't exactly constructing. Place is locked down, Captain. Actually, web down. Fellas, come on! No turn signals? Gonna have to write you up.
And yeah, so it looks like they're not straying away from tradition here with Spidey in this game at all. The quips, the funny character and personality of Spider-Man is all packed in there. Then they go on to talk about the expressive eyes in the game. Now, again, I've been saying that this is something that probably takes inspiration from the movies, especially, of course, with what we got from Spidey in the MCU. But hey, it could be the other way around. Some of you guys were quick to correct me in the comments, and that's totally fair. It could be the other way around. We could have the fact that he has the expressive eyes in the movies as a result to the development of the game. But either way, I don't think it was some strange coincidence. It has to be one way or the other. Either Insomniac got the expressive eyes idea from the MCU, or the MCU got the expressive eyes idea for Spidey from the development of this game. But regardless, I really do like that he has those mechanical eyes, and it makes sense within the context of the story that he has those expressive eyes. You know, it's not like it's just this completely random thing that Spidey can, you know, express himself while wearing his mask. So I'm very happy about that. But what I'm wondering is how it's going to work with alternate costumes. I know there's going to be some alternate costumes that probably will just keep those mechanical eyes, like the Spider-Punk suit, and if we end up getting something like the Homecoming suit in the game, it's probably going to have that as well. But I'm wondering if you're going to equip something like, say, the classic suit or the noir suit. How does it work there? Will there just be no expressive eyes whatsoever, or will there be their own variation on the expressive eyes with these other alternate costumes? So that's what I'm wondering and interested to see in this game, how the alternate costumes are going to work in cutscene, during cutscenes where Spidey's eyes are expressing. Other things they mentioned in this video here is that civilians aren't only on the ground. When you're swinging around the city, you're actually going to be able to see some civilians on rooftops, maybe having a rooftop party or something like that. So that's really cool. It's interesting to see, you know, just landing on a rooftop, taking a selfie with a group of civilians. That would be super awesome. And they showed a little breakdown of this as Spidey is swinging through the city. You're going to see some of those civilians just chilling out on a rooftop in New York City. So that's really cool. And then they also mentioned that there are multiple ways to be alerted of side activities around the city. One of the ways that you'll actually be alerted is through an audio cue. So when you're near a side activity, you're going to hear a little audio ping. And then also there is a little cue from Spidey himself when you're near a side activity where he's just going to say some sort of line of dialogue. And they gave an example of that in which Spidey's swinging around the city and he mentions that Harry Osborn's research lab is somewhere nearby. So that's a really cool way to get involved and to be around these side activities. And at the same time, on top of all these different ways to be notified of the side activity that's nearby, if you look at your mini map, you're also going to see the icon on it as well. So then that way, when you hear that audio cue or when you hear that line of dialogue, look at your mini map and you know exactly where you got to go.
Hey, I think I'm close to one of Harry's research stations.
And then lastly, they mention and show off a little bit of Jonah Jameson's radio show. And this is actually where we get a little bit more new free roam footage of Spidey swinging around the city. A nice new look at a different part of New York City. And then, of course, the reveal of Jonah Jameson himself and the role that he's probably going to have in this game. I love that the way you're basically going to be interacting with Jonah Jameson is through just listening to him talk about how much he hates Spider-Man over this radio show. But what I love about this in general is it's kind of what made Arkham Knight, or just the Arkham games in general, always feel like there was something going on, was that you can kind of tune in and listen to what people were saying. So it's the same situation here, so that you don't really ever get bored when you're swinging around the city. Every now and then, you'll have Jonah Jameson's radio show pop up, and you get to listen to him talk a little bit about Spider-Man. Maybe there's an Easter egg or two within the line of dialogue that he says. Some cool stuff like that. It's stuff like this that makes it all feel alive, and it doesn't ever get you bored when you're swinging through the city for hours on end.
Welcome to Just the Facts with Jonah Jameson, alerting you to the threats you don't even know about. Let's dive right into the calls. Speak.
And yeah, like I said, this is where we get a nice little look at some new free roam gameplay in the game, and overall, that's it. While we didn't get a crazy amount of reveals or news in today's coverage from Game Informer, I really like that we got a little bit of a deep dive into the nitty-gritty of the game, the tiny details that are gonna make this game great. Because yeah, we're excited about the alternate costumes, yeah, we're excited about how big the open world is, but these tiny little details are what's going to keep us coming back to the game day in and day out. So I'm glad that Game Informer was able to cover this and show off a little bit of the tiny details in this game that make it so great. And with that said, I kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments section below. What do you think about the tiny little snippet of new free roam gameplay that we got? And what do you think about the fact that Jonah Jameson is going to be in the game through this little radio show that's going to be popping up from time to time while you're swinging through the city? I want to know your thoughts on all this in the comments section below. I'm Caboose, and once again, if you could leave a like rating on the video, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. And you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.